In this tutorial, we will learn how to import HTML activities, how to display them, and how to edit them for the math. Have a new project created. I named mine Enhancing Activities because I will use the same project for using QML, 360 video, and map activity tutorials. Let's start off by adding an HTML activity to the project. As best practice, you ought to keep all your HTML files together in a folder as you would have a website. Open up the Assets folder that is included with this tutorial. Here, you can see that we have a JPEG file, 3 HTML files, 1 CSS file, and 1 JavaScript file. This directory must contain at least one file. The most basic file that must exist is index.html. The engine will look for the indexed file when it processes the whole folder. You can add many more types of files like CSS, JavaScript, or other resources as they can be referenced in the index.html file. Let's add the folder to our project. Drag and drop the folder in the asset library. As you can see, it automatically added as an icon. If we would go into the assets folder of the current project, we could see that you can find your project folder in there. Be aware that if you want to see any change to the current activity, you will have to change the files that are in the asset folder and not the original ones. Let's create an HTML activity using the asset file. We can either drag and drop the HTML asset file in the main graph, and that will create the HTML activity for us, or we can drag and drop it from the toolbar, or just create it. Now, if we want to change the text, such as the header, we will have to go to the asset folder of the project. I advise you to either download Notepad++ or get brackets for more advanced stuff. I will use Notepad++ for this example. Open the folder and right-click the index.html file and press Edit with Notepad++. For the record, after every change, drag the asset file from the asset library in the main graph and create the activity once again to see the change. In this case, I recommend you load it in the browser to make changes and then add a somewhat final version in the graph. Therefore, if I would choose to delete this word here and go back in the math, you can see it didn't happen and it didn't change anything. If I delete the activity and drag it back once again, everything changed. If you want to customize your game with HTML content, you will have to create a branch. Right-click the activity and select Add Branch. Type in the name. It must be relevant. It cannot use spaces, but an underscore will do as well. I will name this one Right Path. Press OK. And let's repeat the process and name another branch. I will name this one Left Path. Now that we have these two branches created, we can now connect them with other activities. I will create a message activity that says success. Basics message, I'll write here success. And I will make another one that says failure. I will connect the success branch to the success message and left path to the failure. And now connect our HTML activity to the start. So one will serve as a success, the other as a fail. We already have the success and failure buttons created in our file, so let's link those. As a general fact, the mat needs an extra type to recognize a branch. At the end of a link, you will have to type in /mgn result equals and then the name of your branch. Let's do this now. We will link the success and failure buttons or branches in the index file. Let's go to the link of our success button here. And now type in /mgn result equals and then enter the name of your branch. I will type in right path for the success and then do the same mgn result equals left path for the failure button. Save it. Now let's go back to math, and if we start the game and press success, you can see it works. Let's do the same thing for failure as well. If we press failure, it goes to the failure message. But if we try any other link, for example, homepage, it wouldn't work because we didn't connect it to anything. In this tutorial, we learned about HTML files, how to import, edit, and use them within the mat context.